We are live, and I am so freaking proud of myself because I'm on time. I'm on time. Come on in, fam. How you loving? How you loving? How you loving? Come on in. Come on in. This is Reverend Valerie Love, also known as KAISI, and we are going to talk about my move to Mexico. You are on an episode of Nomad Queen. Oh, Austin, how you loving? Shaquana, how you loving? And if you're new to the channel, I'm Reverend Valerie Love. This is a spirituality channel. They call me the Divine Midwife of Soul Destiny, also known as KAISI. And I'm here coming to you from my office in Mexico. So thankful. So thankful, family. So thankful. Beverly, how you loving? So Israel, how you loving? Buenos noches. How you loving? Ujo Wajet. Peru in 2 weeks. Peru in 2 weeks. Peru in 2 weeks. We'll be in Peru in 2 weeks, family. Cubanga. OMG, I just moved to Mexico. What part? What part? What part of Mexico did you move to? Would love to know. So, family, I even have some numbers for you tonight. So I'm answering all your questions about the move to Mexico. I'm sharing with you the story about my move to Mexico. And generally, Tijuana, amazing. Right next to San Diego. That's pretty cool. So first off, I want to start off by saying that this is a spirituality channel, so I view everything through the lens of spirituality. So La Paz, ooh, Mexico, Baja, ooh, Austin, Cubanca is the best. I was in Tijuana not too long ago. I was in Tijuana a couple of weeks ago. So OMG. So family, why did I move to Mexico, first of all? And in the short answer, here's the short answer. My heart just led me here. So to give you a little bit of background about me, if we haven't met before, I'm ready to start mapping out my escape from Chicago. Ujo Wajet, I'm telling you, escape is the right word. It is the right word. So I'll share with you a little bit about my background. I'm a global traveler. I love traveling the globe. This is a spirituality channel, yet if you're new here, you know that we have a channel on the show called Nomad Queen. And Nomad Queen is all about my adventures all over the world, going to France and south of France, Cannes, as well as Cannes, as well as Paris. Hope I'm saying that right. As well as Paris, Dubai, and the UAE, United Arab Emirates, China, Hong Kong, Bali. Lived in Bali for 33 days. Yes, I see you all over the place. That's me. Jamaica 4 times, all throughout the Caribbean, Hawaii, touring all Hawaiian islands. Not all the Hawaiian islands, because you have to be Hawaiian to go to all the Hawaiian islands. All the Hawaiian islands that they let you go to without actually being a Hawaiian. Gone through all those islands, cruising through the islands, gone throughout the Caribbean, and also to Kenya on the dark continent known as Africa, and also on safari in Kenya at Masai Mara. Where else? Bali, I mentioned Indonesia. Oh, Peru. So we go to Peru every year for plant medicine. So basically, I guess what we could say is that I love traveling the whole globe. And that's what Nomad Queen is all about. It's about bringing you these adventures, my adventures, and sharing with you my adventures. And prayerfully, we inspire each other. Because when we have these conversations, we have the conversation going on. Oh, you've been to Kenya. Oh, so you whisper, isn't it amazing? So when we have these conversations, we inspire each other to grow bigger, go bigger, be global, be bigger, express bigger, be your whole full authentic self. So my soul is just called to travel. I love travel. And so, hey, I got many, many, many more countries to go. So why am I in Mexico if I travel all over the globe? Here's why I'm in Mexico, specifically where I am right now. My family is in Miami, so I can hop right over to Miami anytime I want to. My big kids and my grandbabies, and my 4th grandbaby on the way, due on 4th of July. And my daughter who's in school, I can hop right over to her school. She's going back to college this fall. August, we'll take her to her new apartment for college. And from this home base that I have here in Mexico, I can now also go to South America. I can go throughout Latin America. I have friends in Panama, so I can hop down to Panama. I can go to Belize. I've been to Belize before, yet I want to explore Belize. Costa Rica, I've never been to Costa Rica. I've definitely got to check out Costa Rica. Paraguay and Uruguay, not sure if I'm going there. Let's see. Next month, I'll be in Guatemala. Also, I can hop over to Peru because we go to Peru. We'll be in Peru in 2 weeks, so I can hop over to Peru for the ayahuasca experiences. And also, it's close to South America, so that I can get over to Medellin. I can never say it right with the right accent. Medellin. South America, Colombia, South America. So I can get to Colombia, South America, then also explore Cuba, which I'm definitely going to Cuba. Oh, stop in Ecuador. Ooh, on your way to Peru. Oh, Medellin. Okay, thank you, Soul Whisperer. Medellin. Yeah, I never get that right. So thank you for giving me that proper pronunciation. I'm learning Spanish down here in Mexico. So Mexico is the perfect spot for jumping off to all these different places. Like, I'm a big follower of Nomad Capitalist. I don't know if you know Nomad Capitalist. If you don't know him, follow his channel. He is extremely incredible. His name is Andrew, and I've been following him for years. And Nomad Capital is all about going where you're treated best. And he also teaches how to create wealth globally, second passports, all those things that I'm now exploring. Well, one of the things that he talks about is that if he had to pick one, like his top 3 places on the planet to live that would give you like mostly everything, one of them was Mexico. Because Mexico offers so much. Mexico's got the mountains, it's got the cenotes, it's got beaches, it's got relaxation, it's got turn up, it's got party, it's got chill, it's got family, it's got something for everyone. And it's right next door. 30 and a wake up. Oh my God, I saw you and got a new van. Oh my God. Wait a minute. 30 and a wake up. Everybody drop everything and give a big shout out to 30 and a wake up for 70,000 subscribers. Oh my God. Super happy for you, Kevin. I saw that post the other day. I was like, oh my God, he is blowing up. I better give more attention to my YouTube channel because 30 and a wake up, 30 and a wake up. You'll better follow 30 and a wake up. Incredible channel, incredible. Isn't that awesome? Oh my God, you'll know how I love 30 and a wake up. He is just so phenomenal. And he is these pictures. I have the God bumps now looking at these pictures of him in the van by all these beautiful sunrises and the colors and wow. And then you said, I'm giving up this van. I'm like, whoa. Like, and when you said the van was too big, I was like, wow, I couldn't even fit my clothes in there. I'm a diva. 30 and a wake up, you inspire me to no end. So thank you. So freaking awesome. So by the way, 30 and a wake up, guess what? I'm doing a remote year retreat next month in Guatemala. And then I'm going on Samsara, the 4-month Asia at the end of the year. So, I was scheduled for the 12-month that was going to leave in July of 2020, but everybody knows what happened in 2020. So I did not do my 12 countries in 12 months. Instead, in 2020, I took myself to Peru, Dubai, New Orleans, Puerto Rico, Miami, and then Mexico in December. So December, I came to Mexico and never looked back. Like, freaking love Mexico. And like I said, I can use this as like a great jumping off spot. I'm not going to live in Mexico forever. Definitely not. There's too much of the world to see. I'm a nomad. So this is a good hub for me. I also want another hub in Bali, because if I have a hub in Bali, then I can hop to Australia, Thailand, and so forth. So 30 and a wake up. So who might be joining a group at some point? Yay! That would be so fun. That would be so fun to travel with you. Because you're the kind of guy that I can hang out with. Because, not everybody can you hang out with. Some people are just a little too uptight about things. They're fussy. And Kevin just doesn't strike me as any of that. Just down to earth, real salt of the earth kind of people. So I like that. They just like to kick back, chill, have a good time, and enjoy life. Like, this is about enjoying life. I'm going to give you all some numbers because my financial planning brain works that way. So I'm going to give you guys some numbers, and I'm going to show you what the expenses look like since I've been here in Mexico. So let's go on screen share because I got you just a couple of numbers, not a lot, just a few slides, and it's going to give you pretty much what I got going on over here. So let's hop to it. All right. Hopefully you can see this. Let me go in presentation mode for this. Well, let's start with one. That would be a good idea to start with the very first slide. Slide one, and let's go into presentation mode. And let me just make sure that you all can see this. Yeah, you guys can see it. Great. Okay. So, standard. Yep, we're going to do standard. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to take you through a couple of my expenses. And first, let's talk about home. I'm going to give you the basics, the very basics. So, and I'm going to explain these numbers to you as I go. So first of all, we have home. And home is like your number one expense, right? Roof over your head. So when I was in DC, my daughter and I, we had a studio, and believe it or not, I lived it, we live. I worked it, we work, and I lived it, we live. And I know this is crazy because now they're saying that, from the new movie about the founder of We Work and We Live, he had a great idea, but apparently I was in a cult and didn't know it. But anyway, that's a story for another day. Basically, I lived in Crystal City, Virginia, right outside of DC. My office was in DC. I had a studio, it was a beautiful studio, and it even had a Murphy bed in it. So it was, I don't think it was minimal living. It wasn't minimalist living. It was tiny house living. So it was this really cute little studio. Y'all saw a ton of videos from there for YouTube because I lived there for a couple of years, 2-3 years, my daughter and we had our own space in there, believe it or not. And it was really beautiful. It was really private and a really beautiful building. And the studio was $16.10 a month. A studio, one bathroom, and half the kitchen. It did not have a stove, had a full refrigerator, because if we had this big community stove, big community kitchens. I know that sounds strange, but watch the movie and you'll see what I'm talking about. Now, when I moved to Miami, after my daughter graduated from high school, we got this big house, 5-bedroom house, 4 baths, swimming pool, 3-car garage. That home was $3,100 a month. And I know what you might be saying. Val, that is freaking crazy. Yeah, you're pretty much right. However, this is what happened. When I came to Miami, my daughter and her husband were living with me with their 3 kids. So we had to have 5 bedrooms because the kids had their bedroom. My daughter and her husband had their bedroom. My other daughter, who was at college and coming back and forth, she had her bedroom. And then, of course, I had the master with my own bathroom. So we have 4 bathrooms, and then downstairs there were four bedrooms on the second level. On the first, and 3 baths up there. On the first level, there was 1 bedroom and a bath. So that home was $3,100 a month. My home in Mexico right now, $900 a month for a 4-bedroom plus a studio space, which is actually, I kind of call it another bedroom, but it doesn't have closets. So, in real estate, it doesn't count as a bedroom if it doesn't have a closet. So my Mexico home that I gave you the tour of, I'll put the card in this video later. The tour that I gave you is I call it 4-bedroom. It's actually 3 baths plus the studio. which I use for my sacred space. That's my laboratorium where we do prayer, meditation, and my spiritual practices is in that room. It's right next to my bedroom, the master, and then I have this huge walk-in closet, which I'm super happy about because I'm creating a cloffice, and they keep laughing at me about this cloffice. I don't care. A cloffice is a closet in an office smashed together, super inspiring. That's what I got going on in my closet. So it's 3 bedrooms plus the studio. So I call it 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths. So there's a full bath upstairs with one of the guest bedrooms. My bedroom, of course, has a full bath. Then downstairs, we have another guest bedroom and a full bath. And then we have half a bath. Now, I did not show you all the service quarters, which most homes in Mexico, where I live now, have this service area for if you have someone staying with you that cleans the home, or a nanny or someone like that. They call it service. So they have their own private quarters. In that area, there's another shower and another bathroom. So I guess you could call it 4.5 baths. So yeah, there you have it. Let's go to the next slide. Now we're going to look at my office in each of these places. And the reason why I compare these 3 is to give you a very good overview of what we're talking about with regard to expenses. And because my mind is just a financial planner mind, and it kind of works that way. So, and I'm an air sign, I can't help myself. So office, DC, my office was $1,300. As I mentioned to you, in DC, we live and I worked at we work. My office was $1,300 a month. Miami, I did not have an office in Miami because our space in the house was this huge house. So I had my office set up in the house. Here in Mexico, I have an office. Now I want to go back to this other slide for a quick moment because I want to let you know this $900 a month home that I have in Mexico, this is an expensive home. Because when I went shopping for homes in Mexico where I live, I saw beautiful homes for $550 a month, $650 a month, $750 a month. So it's just that this diva here has a $900 a month house. Please understand, this $900 a month house is expensive because it's what I wanted. It's exactly what I wanted. It's brand new, totally renovated. This house was made for me. This house was made for me. And I'm like, that's it. So when I saw it, we did do some negotiating on price, and so it's $900. Okay, so I just want to let you know, don't go by, this is not typical. This is expensive. Okay, let's continue now with the office. So my office here in Mexico is $630. I'm in my office right now. I have 24/7 access to my office, and key card, private office suite here. It is my creation zone. It's my creation box. It's where I write. Y'all know I'm an author, and really I became financially independent from books, believe it or not, from book royalties. So I'm an author of 23 books on practical spirituality, creating more books all the time. Love my publishing business, and it's my thing. It's my jam. And when I go to Guatemala next month with Remote Year, I'm actually considering using that week on retreat to complete the novel. So I'm stepping over into novel 2. So writing is my thing. Speaking is my thing. That's my jam. So when I come into my office here, I actually don't really need an office here in Mexico. I have an office here in Mexico for one very important reason. I go straight into the zone. I go straight into the creation zone. It's got everything I require. It's got the fast Wi-Fi. It's got the perfect setup for YouTube videos. It's got seclusion. I just write. I'm super focused the second I walk in the door. When I'm home, there's a lot of distractions. Even though I'm a pretty focused person anyway, I just decided to remove all distractions from my creation zone. So that's why I have an Mexico office. I don't actually have to have it. I just know that it takes my productivity through the roof. Like if I really, really buckled down, I could take one of those bedrooms and just pimp it out and just have a beautiful office in there. I don't want to do that. Plus, the home is more of a retreat center. I'll have a lot of people coming to visit me. Hey, 30 and a wake up. Anytime you want to come to Mexico, you heard it here from me. You got a home here. You can absolutely come. 30 to wake up. You are so freaking awesome. Anytime you want to hop down to Mexico, you got a home here. And guess what? I don't even have to be here because I hired a personal assistant. He can show you into the house, help yourself, and chill and relax. So that's an open invitation to you. Now, let's go to my home and my office. So let's just add up what we got going on so far before we go deeper into the expenses like utility and transportation. So the DC home and office combo, $29.10. Miami, about the same, $3,000. Mexico, half, $15.30. Home and office. Now, we haven't gone yet to utilities. So let's talk about utilities. Utilities and transportation. So utilities in DC, at that little tiny studio, my nice little living was $125 a month. So $1,610 was the rent, $125 was the utility, so it was $1,735 per month. Now I have $1,000 for my car for transportation expense. I know you were saying, what in Sam Hill were you riding around in? So I knew I would have to explain this big fat $1,000 transportation expense for DC. So I broke it out for you. Here is the DC car expense. The car payment was $355, insurance was $185, parking, I had parking in 2 places. Remember, I had an office at we work. My office there was like $150 a month for parking, and at home was like $150 a month for parking. So parking was like $300 because I had parking at my office and parking at my apartment. Then gas and maintenance, and I know 30 and a wake up can totally understand this because he was in New York and that's like super expensive. And gas and maintenance for the car about $160. You're talking gas and then of course tolls as well as maintenance like oil changes, tires, so forth and so on. Yeah, all in about $1,000 a month. About $1,000 a month. Transportation utilities in Miami at the home we were at was about $500 a month, including water, electric. There was no gas in that house, and Wi-Fi. I'm including the Wi-Fi here. In this apartment, the Wi-Fi was included. So it was really, really, really inexpensive utilities. Miami, the utilities were high. We had electric and we had Wi-Fi included in this, plus water quarterly. Miami transportation, by then I had gotten rid of this car because I did not want to keep paying $1,000 a month for a car. Car is a huge suck of money. It just sucks your money straight out. It just hook a vacuum cleaner up to your wallets and whatnot and suck it out, and there you have a car. Now, I'm talking about the average people. I'm not talking about for super uber rich people that like to have a lot of cars, beautiful. If that's your jam, go for it. In Miami, $800 was the car expense. Why? Because we rented cars. We would rent cars long-term from Enterprise. It was much cheaper. I rented it on my credit card, and the credit card had the insurance already built in. And we always got a new car, and we would turn it in like every couple of weeks because it would get funky. It was carefree. It was carefree. It was no, maintenance, no wash. I didn't even wash a car. I wouldn't even take it to the car wash. I would just get another one. I'm just telling you the truth. I don't have time for it. I'd rather spend my time doing more fun things. Mexico. I know this looks crazy, family. 10% this is 10%. What the hell? Because my Ubers are like 97 cents, $2, $3. No, kid you not. I was talking to another expat the other day, and they said, you know what? I looked at my bank statement, and the Uber was 50 cents. And I called and said, this must be a mistake. She called the bank. She said, this has to be a mistake. I said, no, that's the charge that came through on Uber. And she was looking at it and she was like, I don't know, 30 pesos. 30 pesos is about $1.50. 40 pesos is $2. That's what Ubers cost here. So for like a whole month, a stretch would be, I don't even think I've spent $100 on Ubers in an entire month. Yeah, and I walk a lot. Super lot. I love walking. So the highest Uber I've ever had here was like maybe close to $10 when it's super, super duper, really, really, really busy. Yeah. Next, we already talked about the DC car expense, so let's give you a subtotal before we go to food. DC, $4,035, and we're talking rent, utilities, car expense, office. Miami, $4,400 for the same. Mexico, $1,730. Once again, I have an expensive house and I have an optional office. Food, $800 in DC, $800 in Miami, about the same because I like Whole Foods. I eat good food. I don't eat junk. I like to live a long time. I like to be healthy. I like to have a lot of energy to travel the world. So I eat really good food. And Mexico, the food is less than half price. Like we have $2 drinks down here, like mojitos, $2, $3. Margaritas, $3. And they were visiting me, we do retreats and whatnot. And a couple of the sisters were like, "Well, KAISI, I cannot believe it. Look at this in a bar back in Cleveland or a club in DC. You're talking $17 drinks." I'm like, people pay 2 figures before the zero for a drink. They were like, "Girl, you're so out of touch." Yes, people pay $10, $11, $17 for a drink. And then they have more than one. Yes. Mind blown. I'm mind blown. I mean, I'm a teetotaler, so I'm out of touch. I don't know what alcohol is like. I'm shocked. And here I am sipping this little mojito for $2 or $3 and getting my life in Tulum, okay? Now, let's give you some totals, and then I'm gonna answer some questions. This live stream is for you guys, and then I'm gonna tell you what it costs to get into my home and all of that. So, all in, total, we're talking office. These are all the necessities, okay? We're talking home, utilities. The cable is included in what I did to Wi-Fi. I don't have cable. I do Wi-Fi because Netflix and all the streaming services, right? Hulu and whatnot. So if you include home, office, utilities, transportation, and food, we're at $4,835 in DC, $5,200 in Miami, $2,000 in Mexico. Is there any question? Like this slide says it all. This slide says it all. And where's the rest of the money going? Into Bitcoin. I mean, this slide says it all. Is there anything else I need to say? I don't think there's any question about it. So now we're going to come off screen share for a second. I'm going to start answering some questions. You paid $16 for a vodka soda the other week, Northern Virginia complete. And say $16. That is so. $1,600 a month in the studio. Isn't that unbelievable? Lived in DC for 3 years as well, right on Mass Avenue. That's amazing. Ujo Jet, wow. Oh my God. Nothing is 50 cents anymore. I have not taken an Uber anywhere. Let me come off screen share. I have not taken an Uber anywhere in all of Mexico that was more than $10, and I never took an Uber in DC that was less than $10. I don't think I had any Uber in DC that was less than $10. I would go to the yoga studio, 12, maybe $9.90, 13, 14. I mean, that's just the price of Ubers in Washington, DC. It's up there. Now, what I did not add into these totals is I did not add my travel expense, because my travel expense varies depending on where I'm going. So I would say sometimes it could be a couple of grand, sometimes it could be, I don't know, it just depends on where I decide to hop to and how much it costs. So I don't want to add travel expense because that's a variable expense. I also did not add things like shopping for clothes. That's a variable expense too. Maybe I shop, maybe I don't. So I didn't add the variable expenses. I added the fixed expenses to give you a good idea of exactly what's going on and the financials about it. I totally missed the first part of your stream. How much is your rent? Your house is amazing. Oh my God, Nico, how you living? The house is $900. You could rewind to that part where I take you step by step through the numbers. Now let's talk about how much it was to get into the house. Okay, Red Carpet Magazine. How do you discover listings for homes in Mexico, Val? Any sites suggestions? This is Anthony McBride. Oh my God! Blast from the past, Anthony McBride. Hey, love. How you loving? How you loving? How you loving? Okay. Nico said, that is crazy. I'm coming to Mexico. Why do you think I'm down here? Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you exactly how this all fit together. Remember, I told you that I'm financially independent based on books and my book royalties. So my book royalties exceed what I require for my apartment and things like that, which I'm very thankful for. In other words, my passive revenue streams exceed what's required for my life. So including YouTube and book royalties and the passive income streams that I have, that exceeds what I require for my life. So that's how I created financial independence. If I lived in Miami, I would not be financially independent. I would still have to have more active income. 30 and a wake up, Kevin. I am in Merida, Mexico. Merida, Merida, Mexico, which is super cool. Right close to Miami. I could like almost hop over the water via Miami. Like I left Miami the other day. I was in Merida by the afternoon. It's amazing, 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 amazing. Now let's talk about how I found the place. This is an excellent, excellent question from Red Carpet Magazine. Red Carpet Magazine asks, how do you discover listings for homes in Mexico, Val? Any sites, suggestions? This is Anthony McBride. Okay, so Anthony, here is the deal. I hired someone. Now, here is my philosophy on life. One of my philosophies on life. This is gospel according to Val. If I don't know about it or I don't like doing it, I hire someone for it. So I hired someone for it. I hired Merida Moves, Merida Moves. So you can put it in the chat, and it's actually, I think her website is meridamoves.com. She's a consultant. She has a consulting business here, and her consulting business is all about helping people move to Merida. Not all of Mexico, only Merida. Now, Merida, they also have lots of Facebook groups. There are lots of Facebook groups, and in the Facebook groups, you can find apartments and homes. Now, number one issue for me with that is I'm not on Facebook that much. I'm not a Facebook gal. You know, I'm a big YouTube gal, right? So I'm not really on Facebook all that much. So I probably wouldn't be hanging out in Facebook groups. Plus, I don't really know Mexico. So if I don't know what I'm doing, I'm going to get help. Also, I saw from other YouTubers that live right here in Merida. There's a few YouTubers that live here. As a matter of fact, they're talking about having a YouTuber party coming up soon. There are a few YouTubers that live here in Merida, and you may know Amoya. You probably have seen her, and you probably have also seen what's that other sister? Asia Aro. So you probably saw Asia Arrow, or you probably saw Amoya, or you probably saw, there's another brother who, PK Lifestyles, I think, something like that. And of course, you might have saw the Yarbros. The Yarbros also were in Mexico. So there's a lot of YouTubers buzzing around, you know. I think there's a lot of YouTubers all over the whole world, probably, right? But anyway, in the YouTuber community, there is a really, really, really good SPK. That's it. Thank you, SPK Lifestyle. Thank you. I like him. I really like him a lot. He is so real. He's such the real deal. So follow his channel too. Follow his channel. If you love you saw all of them. And the Yarbros just broke 20,000 subscribers. Yay! I'm out of here. Let me tell you, Anthony. And so what I did was I communicated with some of the other, I just watched what the other YouTubers were talking about. And Barbara of Merida Moves was actually interviewed by Asia Aro right here on YouTube. And the interview was amazing. So I contacted Barbara, paid her fee, consulting fee. And I gotta tell you something, Barbara is the woman. She's like, I know a guy. That's like her favorite thing to say. If you need something done, someone contacted, someone in the network. She has a huge network, and she was born and raised right here in the Yucatan. Now, the Yucatan, which is where I am now, is different from Mexico. The Yucatan actually used to be its own separate country. From what I hear, it was not part of Mexico. It is now part of Mexico. So Yucatan still consider themselves Yucatan, not so much, definitely Mexican, of course, definitely Mexican because it's part of Mexico. Yucatan is an incredible state. So that's where I live. I live in the Yucatan. Now, Barbara is an attorney. So that's another really, really great aspect of Barbara, which means she can do contracts, and she can also review the contracts. Because the contracts that you write with the owner, that you draw up with the owner, they're in Spanish. And it would have to be in Spanish because we're in a Spanish country. I don't speak Spanish. Well, I'm learning. Poquito. Poquito. So, because we're in a Spanish country, the contracts are all in Spanish. I can't read Spanish. You gotta hire someone to do this for you. So she's an attorney. And when we go over the contract, and Kevin can appreciate this because he's an attorney. Kevin, you're an attorney, right? 30 to wake up. I think he's an attorney. Yeah, he's an attorney, right? From looking at your story from back in New York. What she does is when they draw up the contract, they read it in Spanish, the attorney for the owner, and then she breaks down every line of that contract before you sign it. This is what it says. It says, are you on board with that? Yes. Yep, Kevin's an attorney. I know it. Yes. So she is an attorney, and she is amazing at what she does. And, it's really fascinating how you can use all of these skills all over the world for really maybe unusual applications. So she's an attorney, yet she helps expats move to Mexico and find the right house for them. And that's an interesting application of her skills as an attorney and her training. And she is excellent at it. So we're going to interview her on the channel so you can ask her all about it. Now, here is, what's her name again? Her name is Barbara. And that'll save my life, literally. Oops, sorry. That's such a I'm so thankful. Oh my God, I'm so thankful. And let me tell you something, family. When I find good information, I pass it along. And someone said, George Carlin said, the American dream, they call it the American dream because you would have to be asleep to believe it. And while I'm not a person that would ever bash America, because America's just a beautiful country, beautiful, 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 I would say go where you're treated best and go explore the world. Let's explore. See what you find. You may love Thailand and decide to live there for a while. You may love Japan. You know how many people are going to Asia? Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's, expand. Just expand your horizons, right? That's why we're here. We're here to grow and expand as human beings. So Barbara is her name. And if you go to Merida Moves, she has a website, Merida Moves. She has a website and she also has a Facebook group. So Merida Moves. Now, when you contact her, this is what you want to do. You want to be ready to move into your, wait, Barbara from where? From Merida Moves. Her name is Barbara, and her consulting company is Merida Moves. She's here in Merida, Mexico. Now, when you contact her, you're going to want to be ready to move because she does not do so. Well, 6 months from now, I'll be ready. You contact her, you pay her consulting fee. She starts taking you within days to see houses. You give her all your specifications. What part of town do you want to live in? If you don't know what part of town you want to live in, she'll tell you all about the different parts of town and take you to the different parts of town. She picks you up. She gives you white glove service. She takes you to exactly the kinds of houses that you asked for. You give her your price range, $550 a month, let's say. That's a very doable price range. You can certainly live here for under $1,500 a month, all in, $1,200 a month, $1,000 a month, and still have a nice quality of life. So she asks you about what you want, what your budget is. She asks you how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, what kind of lifestyle do you have? Do you have pets? Do you have children? Do you travel a lot? All of these things. Do you have to have high-speed Wi-Fi, certain parts of town? All of this, and she is so knowledgeable. She's so knowledgeable. She's an incredible asset. For me, it was cheap to pay her fee. Just pay the fee and let her take you around. And she will keep taking you to houses until you find the house that you want. She took me to so many houses, and when I walked up to the house, I was like, this is it. And you can always tell that it's the house, like, this is it. And it's costing me a fraction of what I was paying when I was in the United States. A fraction. The pricing is so good and the quality of living is so high, because I don't want a house just to be cheap. And I don't want a house in the middle of nowhere just to save a ton of money. That's not me. I'm the kind of person that likes to have a good value. So I would desire the most that I can get for the best price, you know? And I'm sure that every one of you are the same way. You want the best value that you can get for your dollar. I mean, you work hard for these dollars. Make them work for you. So she took me to all these different places. I did not actually videotape all the houses. Oh, they were great. They were great. They all had swimming pools because, you know, in the interview, you determine if you want a swimming pool, whether the case may be. I wanted a swimming pool because it gets roasty toasty here. So once you have the apartment or the house that you're looking for, and it's a yes, let's say that it's 15,000 pesos. We're going to make it easy, which is $750 a month. About US, that's about the exchange rate. So let's say it's 15,000 pesos per month. To move in, most of the time you would require $15,000 pesos for the first month, another 15,000 pesos for the deposit, a deposit that they hold, security deposit, and another 15,000 pesos because you don't have a guarantor. A guarantor is a person who lives in Mexico who will sign for you to say that I guarantee if this person doesn't pay the rent, I'm going to be responsible for it. So if you don't have a guarantor, that's another 15,000. And then lastly, you have the lawyer fee. The lawyer fee is the person who draws up the contract between you and the owner. And that lawyer will either get a full month or half a month. That's the lawyer fee. So that lawyer is either going to get 15,000 pesos or what would be 7,500 pesos. So you're talking 750, 750, 750, 750. So theoretically, for a $750 home, it will be $3,000 to move in. Now, she's also going to ask you if you want furnished or unfurnished. Unfurnished here means you ain't got nothing. Not even a washing machine, no refrigerator, no stove. You got nothing. You got walls, okay? In my house, it ain't even toilet seats, okay? Y'all seen it on the video. They ain't even toilet seats in my house. By the way, I kind of like it. You know, the Yucatan, like they said, I asked Barbara, I was like, and she was saying, yeah, the house is complete and blah, blah, blah. I was like, no, Barbara, the house is not finished yet. She said, no, the house is finished. I said, no, there's no toilet seats on any of the toilets. There's 5 toilets in this house, okay? The 4 in the house, and in the service area, there's another bathroom. There's 5 toilets. None of them have toilet seats. She was like, no, in the Yucatan, we don't do toilet seats. I was like, come again? We don't do toilet seats in the Yucatan. Oh my. How's this going to be? And I mean, hey, aren't toilet seats kind of nasty and cruddy anyway? I mean, you got to clean them. They're always getting dirty. They're sliding around when they get old. You got to keep changing them. I'm like, maybe Mexican people have a point. Maybe it's better. I mean, it's a lot of waste. It's a lot of plastic. They're yucky. Like, what's wrong with not having a toilet seat? I don't have any toilet seats in my house, and I got to tell you something. I don't miss them. I'm telling you, I don't miss them. It's very odd. Look, family, I don't even have a bed in my house. I have a hammock, because that's the next thing they told me. Oh, yeah, we sleep on hammocks. I said, hammocks? Tell me more. Because I'm a minimalist now, right? I'm going to be a minimal, except my closet. I'm not a minimalist with clothes and earrings yet. We're not going to be a minimalist with everything all at once. So my bedroom is completely minimalist. I have one thing in my bedroom, a hammock. I was like, okay, we're in the Yucatan. I'm going to try out this hammock thing. I go buy a hammock. It's Scott in the hammock. He tells me, oh, yeah, it's going to last for like 6 or 7 years. I'm like, a hammock is going to last for 6 or 7 years? Yes, and it's very fresh. They like to say the word fresh because you get fresh air. Oh, how's the Wi-Fi? The Wi-Fi is great. You just pay for higher speed Wi-Fi. So I have a hammock in my room, in my bedroom. I love it. It's really, and it rocks you. You know, so when you first get into the hammock, you rock. And then after a while, it's still, and you just fall asleep. And it's fresh, it's air circulating. I was like, wow. We were sleeping on these, and they said, hey, no bed bugs. Well, of course, no bed bugs in a hammock. Like, where would they live? Where could they hide? Like, think about a bed and how much stuff is a mattress. It's pretty scary. All those mites and all those dead skin cells. I mean, I don't want to be too gross. Let's not get gross in a beautiful travel video. Let's not be gross. But think about it. I mean, maybe it's not such a bad idea to try a hammock. I'm not saying you might want to live on the hammock forever and ever. We could try it. I'm the kind of gal, hey, I'll try it once. Let's see. I love it. I get in my hammock at night. I'm like, oh, yes. And I sleep so well. I put the air conditioner on. I'm cool. You know how at night you're supposed to be cool. I sleep in a hammock. It is amazing. I wouldn't mind, but I need to become more fluent in Spanish. That's another good question. And last question, safety, federale rumors. Oh, and groceries. Do you get yours delivered? Oh, I like these questions. Okay, let's take these questions. Was it hard to get in the hammock? I feel like I would I feel like I would fall over in my sleep. That hammock, it was a little sort of a configuration to get into. I find booty first in and then flip you. There's a little bit of a art. There's a little hammock art you gotta work on. You gotta work on your hammock calisthenics. Otherwise, I was like, well, what if it was whipped around and I'm stuck in the hammock like a moth in a net and a web from a mosquito or in a spider web? No, but it's cool. It's cool because you know what I did? I got me one of them big hammocks. I got the double hammock. You know they have hammocks come like beds. You can have a single hammock and you can have a double hammock. I have a double hammock. Literally. Barbara told me her and her kids sleep in the hammock. I was like, no. Wait a minute. My head was having like a reconfiguration. Wait a minute. A hammock is a family affair? Oh, yes. In the Yucatan. Couples, families. You sleep in a hammock with your kids. She said she slept in a hammock with her mother and father until she was like 13. Her mother said, okay, now you need to get your own hammock. The whole family is sleeping in one hammock. This thing is huge. When you open my hammock, it's a double hammock. I was like, give me the big one. I just want to make sure. The thing is huge. I'm telling you, 2 or 3 other people could probably get in my hammock with me. We would have plenty of space. I'm going to show y'all my hammock. I'm going to do a live stream. I'm cooking up a live stream of my morning routine since I've been in this new space. It's so beautiful because I get a lot of sunlight into my eyes in the morning. And you definitely want to get a lot of sunlight into your eyes early in the morning and be more in nature. So I'm just loving it. Plus, I have this huge rooftop deck where I do my yoga. So I'm going to do a really nice morning routine video. Which I just said, wait, what? A hammock? I sleep on a hammock and I sleep like a baby. And it's so cool. And the air just circulates. And it's true. In the Yucatan, it's very hot. So people have air conditioning, right? You think of the Maya. They're in their beautiful homes that they constructed. Because you know the Maya have special constructed houses. They had a house that was, has like a thatched roof. And they make it so that the wind is going through, the breeze is going through. It's very ingeniously constructed. And everyone sleeps on hammocks. And they even say, I have air conditioning, yes. They even say that you can put something like all the houses, first of all the bedrooms have hammock hooks. All the bedrooms. They all have hammock hooks. Every house I went to, the hammock hooks were already in the wall. So it's already a given that you're going to have hammocks. That's a given. Everywhere they sell hammocks are everywhere. So I got the hammock and she told me you could actually have 4 hammocks in one bedroom. I said, how do you do that? Like this whole hammock thing It's a whole thing. It is a whole vibe. So here's how you do 4 hammocks. Now in my bedroom, there's 2 hammock hooks, one on one side, one on the other side. In the bigger bedroom down the hall from me, there's 4 hammock hooks, 2 on this wall, 2 on this wall. So what she said is you hook one to this hook to that one. So that's 1 hammock. Then you hook another one to that hook to that. So that's 2 hammocks. Then you hook another one from this hook to that hook, cat a corner, and you cinch it up higher. That's 3 hammocks. Then you take another hammock and you hook it from this one to that one and cinch it lower because they're adjustable higher or lower. She said her cousins, they would go out to the beach and they would be on those hammocks. 4 hammocks in one bedroom. Don't play. They got it down to a science. I was like, this is amazing. And guess what? Here's the best thing about the hammock. No bed. I used to be this big bed person. First, you have to have the bed. It's not just the bed, family. First, you have to have the bed. Then you have to have the right topper on the bed, right? The cushion. Then you have to have the right sheets. The sheet, fitted sheet, top sheet. Then you have to have the right pillows. Then you have to have the right pillowcase covers. Then you have to have the right pillowcases to go on top of the pillowcase covers. Woo! Money Mwah! Then you have to have the right comforters. Then you have to have the designer pillows. It used to take me like 10 minutes just to make my bed up and just to unmake it at night. Like this bed thing, this was huge. Now it's a hammock. It's none of that. It's super simple. If you want to simplify your life way down super simple, get a hammock. Super simple, get a hammock. It's probably a lot healthier too. Probably. That's what I'm thinking. We love you since you started. Yay! Thank you. Thank you so much. What about sleeping with your partner on the hammock? Yes, ask Alina. I was just saying that hammocks actually sleep many people. So I have a double hammock. I have a family size hammock. 3-4 people can fit in one hammock. So absolutely. Let's go to another question. I also noticed that there was another question earlier that I wanted to make sure and get to. Have you heard the Temazcal ceremony? Yes, I'm going to it. I'll tell you more about that after I do it. Is it hard? It's hard to sleep with your boo on a hammock. I guess it depends, intuitive gems, on how you and your boo sleep, right? Was it hard to get in him? Yeah, okay, we talked about the hammock. Let's see, there was another question, safety. I knew there was something about safety. Okay. Now I'm going to give you the answer from spiritual perspective because this is a spirituality channel first and foremost. I'm always talking about inspiration, right? I'm here to be an inspiration as best I can. I first want to start with saying that I feel safe everywhere I go on the entire planet. I have walked around with myself at nighttime in China. I've walked the streets of New York. I walk everywhere. I go everywhere. I walk the streets of Dubai at night. Well, that's definitely going to be safe. I never have any issue going anywhere. I feel totally safe everywhere I go. So that's the first thing. The first thing is consciousness. If you're one of these jumpy kind of people and you're always doing this, well, you're probably going to invite some kind of untoward experiences. At the very least, you're going to draw attention to yourself. So I don't know. It pays to be relaxed. It pays to not be naive, but simply expect the best and good. I have spidey senses that are very good. My intuition is super tuned up. And instantaneously, within seconds, you know what's happening. Plus, I'm from New York, and living in New York those first 30 years of my life, it made you super acute. Like a New Yorker could see like one little thing out of the side of their eye that seems a little off, and you will pay attention to it. So I don't know. It just could be my reptilian brain still, looking for a problem. Is that a woolly mammoth? No? Okay. So I want to start with consciousness. It was in Cuba, not one issue. Mexico. Yeah. I want to start with consciousness because everything for me begins with consciousness. What is going on inside of yourself? Are you at home within yourself? Are you at home and at peace with yourself? Do you belong on planet Earth? Now, I call myself a citizen of the planet. I'm a global citizen. I feel very at home on the globe. This Earth Mother, this Pachamama, is our home. And because they drew imaginary lines and said this is Poland and this is Yugoslavia, it's not real. Maybe the people in Poland wear slightly different clothes and eat slightly different food and think slightly different. And people everywhere have a few things in common. Love. They just want to enjoy their family. They want to be healthy. They want to have their beautiful children thrive. They want to be safe and feel relaxed in their own home. They want to enjoy good food and fellowship. We're all kind of the same on some of these things, even though we have different cultures and we have all of these incredible experiences, right? You're probably like me, can be in a so-called dangerous neighborhood, but bring peace with you. Where you? That's exactly it. Ascalina, do you grow your own food? I feel I need to leave US. Oh my God, that's a good question. So I'll answer that next after the safety question. So with this whole safety thing, I feel extremely safe. Now, let's get down now. I gave you the consciousness answer, and now I'll give you the prevailing answer. The prevailing answer is that Merida, Mexico is actually the second safest. It's one of the top 3 safest cities in all of North America, the North American continent. Now, here's what's very fascinating. None of the top 3 safest cities in North America, I believe not even the third one, are in America. The first one is in Canada. I think it's Quebec. It's either Quebec or Toronto, some beautiful Canadian city. It's like the number 1 safe space in all of North America. And the number 2 safest place in all of North America is Merida, Mexico. So, when people talk about, what about the cartel? And the cartel ain't thinking about you. The cartel is thinking about drugs. They're not thinking about you. They're thinking about me or you. I'm not that important. When you say Mexico, and I want to say something else. That dude that they show you on US television? The dude with the sombrero and the poncho and the guitar standing next to a donkey or a mule or whatever that thing is? Haven't seen him yet. Don't believe it. Don't believe everything they tell you in America about Mexico. Haven't seen that dude yet. Haven't seen him yet. A sombrero? Who's wearing a sombrero down there? Haven't seen one person with a sombrero on their head. I saw one in a little shop one time, like where the tourists were. I don't think there's any Mexican people wearing a sombrero. These Mexican women out here, they got their heels on. They got their cute outfits on. I don't see no sombreros. I don't see no dudes playing guitars. I haven't seen it. So don't believe everything you see. Montreal, not one issue. Absolutely. Now let's talk about food. No, I don't grow my own food. Yes, I would grow my own food. I'm going to start growing some herbs in the kitchen. It's just that I travel so much. So who's going to be taking care of all that stuff while I'm gone? Because I'll be going and coming, and next thing you know, the potatoes are dying, the tomatoes are dying, the string beans are... I can't do it. I can't do everything, right? And travel is like way up here in my list of priorities. Travel and seeing the world, that's a must. So I eat really good food. And I gotta tell you something. Here in Mexico, the food is super good. When I eat avocados, they're like super good. They're like avocados somebody picked this morning. Super good. It's super real food. It feels like real food where I am. That's what it feels like. It feels like real food. Okay. What city are you in? We talked about that. Ask Alina earlier. So, family, if you missed anything, especially if you missed the figures that I took you through, because I took you through all of my expenses here in Mexico as compared to Washington, D.C., and as compared to my recent house in Miami, and size, all of that. I took you through all of that early in the vid. So be sure to watch the whole vid. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to ring the bell, because that means a lot in, YouTube land. And be sure to share this video with anyone who's thinking of moving, anyone who's thinking of relocating. I praise inspiration. Really, I praise inspiration. I've been to several parts of Mexico and always felt safer than I do in the States. Wow, Portia, very interesting. Love it, love it, love it. Now, the last thing I want to talk about, we talked about food, we talked about all that. I think the last thing I want to talk about is why you want to venture out, even though it's scary. This is a spirituality channel, and I just want to leave you with a little inspiration. You've got to do the big, scary things, family. They only look scary before you do them. Like, even when I came to Mexico, I could feel like this wall of like little fear coming up. And I'm like, wow, that's strange, because I'm like this adventurer. I could feel this like wall of fear coming up, and that I almost recoiled a little bit. I almost stepped back a second and said, am I moving too fast? Am I, and rethinking and double and doubting self. Nope. And I was like, breathe. It's all good. Guess what? If you don't like it, just hop on a plane and go somewhere else. That's all. And I moved forward anyway. And what I can tell you is that 1 year in this house, however long I stay in this house, if it's a year, 2 years, if it's 3, 4 years, I don't know. It's not my forever home. I also want a nice home base, like I said, in Bali. It's a jumping off spot to explore all of Latin America, to learn Spanish, possibly Portuguese. I definitely need to be bilingual, trilingual. I definitely want to learn Spanish, French, Italian, possibly Portuguese. These are things I need to do. Why haven't I done them already? It's all good. I get to do them now. And guess what? My big birthday is coming up this year. I'll be 36 again for the 24th time. Do the math. I'll be 36 again. It's going to be my 36 again birthday. Now you turning 36 again. Look, I'm going to be fucking 99 walking in there. I'm 36 again. They're going to be like, KAISI, you 36 again. I'm 36 again for the 63rd time. Oh, I'm going to be 36 again every year. Okay? Now, here's the deal. Thank you for the offer to teach me Spanish. Thank you so much. I love it. So guess what? I'm learning Spanish by total immersion. So like I said, this fear thing gets us. And sometimes it's unconscious. Push past that. Be fierce. Be fierce. Be a spiritual gangster. Be that person that steps out your comfort zone over and over and over again. Every time it's like, woo, and you're just stretching to something new. And every time you do that, you expand. You actually become a bigger person. And I am absolutely committed to being the biggest person I can be. I don't know how big I can be. Let's see. And I pray you do the same. I love you. I'm so happy you were with me on this live stream. I freaking love you. Mwah. I love you. Have a beautiful night. Smash up the shares. And by all means, if you have any of the books, please do leave a review. We love reviews on Amazon. Reviews. This is Reverend Valerie Lowe. Mwah. KAISI out. Peace. Love you, fam. God bless.